Man, welcome back to another episode of Check. You've been watching, you know. I'm E.
I'm T, man. What's good with you?
Rocking out with T. You got something to tell me before we get started?
No, sir.
All right, man, let's go ahead and get it jumping. All right, so, man, we want to talk to y'all about who team is the Brooklyn Nets. Even when KD come back. We can talk about when he come back and currently. Now let's talk about when he come back. When KD come back, it's the Brooklyn Nets still James Harden team.
I would say it's Kevin Durant team, but James Harden running.
So who team is it?
It's Kevin Durant's team, but James Harden running. That's what it is. That's what it is. Who you think?
Even when Kevin Durant comes back, I think you gotta look at how James Harden has kept the team afloat with him out. KD been out for like a month and a half.
I think they said like 20-something games.
Something like that. A month and a half, 5 weeks, 4.5, 6 weeks. Who knows? KD been out a long time, and James Harden has kept that team afloat. So how could it not be his team? The man whose team is supposed to be is out, and this man has kept the team afloat this whole time.
This is true.
They have not dropped under the second seed. They ain't got the first seed either yet, but they haven't dropped anywhere below 2. They might have been 3 for a couple games, but they haven't dropped that low at all. The whole time KD been out, Harden been keeping them afloat. So how could it not be his team?
Like I said, right now it's his team. But when Kevin Durant come back, it's Kevin Durant's team, but James Harden gonna run it.
I think even when Kevin Durant come back, Kevin Durant knows basketball. I wouldn't you can't question if Kevin Durant know his stuff. KD be on the bench watching this. So I don't think KD would try to come back. I mean, okay, this is just how, speaking on the players, the media might try to just say, yeah, it's still KD's team. But to me, the Brooklyn Nets currently, now, is James Harden's team. Without James Harden, I don't think they win the chip. Because James Harden is the facilitator. He the playmaker. Yep. He get Joe Harris his shots. Shedman his shots. TLC his shots. Tyler Johnson his shots.
Kyrie, easier shots.
Kyrie
gonna do his thing, but he get him he make it even better for Kyrie is what I'm saying.
He don't need to though. Kyrie don't need it any easier for him. Kyrie gonna do what Kyrie gonna do.
Like I said, man, he get Kyrie easier buckets.
Alright, so let's switch it to this one. Is James Harden MVP?
MVP. If you go check out our last video on who we thought was mid-season MVP.
That wasn't our last video.
I mean, I'm saying the last video we talked about MVP. Mm-hmm. He thought Joel Embiid was. I said James Harden. To this day, I still think James Harden.
Joel Embiid is injured.
This is true, but even if he was playing, to me, James Harden is MVP. Just look at what he did. Like you said, look at what he doing with his team. Look at what he doing. People keep saying, they keep throwing a narrative out there. Oh, it's KD playing. KD hasn't played 20-something games, and in games, in games where they really need, and when games that Kyrie doesn't play, there you go with the James Harden and his numbers in 40s and 50s, like we seen. He put up 40 against Phoenix. I mean, we all know what he can do on his own. So I don't think it's a surprise. Scoring isn't a surprise. But my thing is, I mean, he's always been a good facilitator. But like you said,
James Harden is a great facilitator.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He always been good. But I'm saying people before this team got, you know what I'm saying, they were saying there was too many balls.
What?
I mean, I'm tripping. It was too many people who needed the ball in their hand, and there was, one ball. So look at, like you said, look at how James Harden making that work. Look at how he's making that work. Kyrie is still putting up 20+ shots a game. When Kevin Durant was playing, he was still putting up 20-something shots a game. And I feel like Harden he's just doing what's asked. He doing what he needs to do. He doing what he needs to do to get them to win games. You need him to score less and get everybody else their buckets. He doing that. He doing that on an every night basis. And they not trying to give him MVP. And they said that he quit on Houston. I wouldn't say he quit on Houston.
He quit.
I know it ain't no quit. He gave that team all he had. What more you want him to do? James Harden is gone. 20-something games straight. You got 3 players averaging 20. Vic averaging 20. Christian Wood averaging 20. John Wall averaging 20. When James Harden was on that team, he was the only
60 points.
I'm saying you got 3 players averaging over 20. When James Harden was there, he was the only person averaging over 25 every season, and they were winning. So that says a lot. His first game coming back into the season, he dropped 44 and 17, and it took for CJ and Dame to go 2 overtimes. Just James Harden was the only person they really had on that team. For y'all, it took 2 OTs to beat him. And he averaged what, 25, 10 and something, 25, 10 and like 6 or something like that. That's when he left. That's when he was in Houston this season.
You know what would have made this man MVP clear cut? If he would have played Utah and beat him. But he sat out that game.
I mean, I don't think he has anything to prove to Utah.
I'm saying though, wondering why they not really giving him clear cut like, yeah, James Harden is the MVP. If you would have beat the #1 team in the league, just how you've been leading your team past all these other teams.
Let me ask you this. Nope. James Harden is on a great team right now, right? As they say. When he was in Houston, was his team as great as it is now?
No.
When he was in Houston, didn't he play Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs? How many times did Utah beat Houston?
That Utah team back in the day is not this Utah team now. Am I wrong?
Bro, the best.
Time out.
They only have 1 addition.
Time out. We appreciate y'all watching. If y'all feeling these videos, man, drop a like. It really helps the channel. And comment down below what y'all think about what we speaking on. Just a real quick message for them. But that team back in the day is completely different than it is now.
Okay.
And I'm going to just leave it at that. Third topic I want to touch on real quick. Is he the best player in the league right now?
Yes. I mean, people keep saying Bron, but he not even playing.
How would he be #1 if he not playing?
That's what I'm saying.
Where have you seen that though?
I have seen. Obviously, people, the main, YouTube channels we watch. Yes, I watch Undisputed, First Take, all that. They still think that even with LeBron James being out, this shit sound funny as hell. He's the best player in the world. Don't know, but James Harden is the best player in the world. He is doing everything. He is shooting 90% from the free throw line. The man is shooting from the field 46%. He's leading the league in assists. He's scoring that well when need be. They're #2. Most of the games are played without a Kevin Durant, so no matter what y'all say, they're winning, and he's the reason they're winning. He's proven himself without Kyrie that he can still get these role players in the game, and they can still win games. They were down 20 against Phoenix. They're the #2 team in the West. Came back and beat them. He dropped 40-something. James Harden is the best player in the NBA right now. He's the best player, period. Right now. Today. How do you feel about that? Do you agree?
I agree. We're going to call it a wrap on this one, man. Let us know what y'all think, man. Who team is the Brooklyn Nets? Who the MVP is? Is it James Harden? And is James Harden the best player in the league right now? Again, man, this has been Self-Check, and I'm E.
I'm T, man.
Rocking out with T. We appreciate y'all rocking out with us. And, of course, man, we're going to catch y'all in the next one.
Peace.